Hello everyone and welcome to Pokemondays on the Dynamite channel. I'm Chipper. On today's episode, we'll be talking about Celestial Guardians. We'll be talking about Black Bolt and White Flare. We'll be talking about collection updates, and I think that's probably where I want to start today is, I told you last week that we have Elysiana playing Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu. She got really into it. I told you I picked up the Pokeball Plus for her. I got jealous. I wanted the Mew, so I I got another one for myself, and I'm just gonna have to extract that Mew the hard way. And yeah, so I restarted a new game. I haven't played it in 4 or 5 years, so it's really cool to come back to, and I'm using it to kind of get ahead of her because, the story's a little bit different than, the Gen 1 games, and some of the maps are a little bit different. Like the HMs aren't there. You have to use, like Sky Dash. It's kind of like moves that they teach to the Pikachu or to the Eevee that are in different places than they were in the Gen 1 games. So I'm kind of like working ahead in my game, and then that way I can seem like I know what I'm doing when when she's playing. But I received that. Also last week in the card game, Glory of Team Rocket has finally arrived, so that's taken care of now. I don't have to worry about that. Celestial Guardians. Oh, before I get to Celestial Guardians, that Dialga that I've been looking for so long, I finally got enough of the pack points, because I had to go through the pack points just to get, I went through 5,000 pack points worth of what was that, Space Time Smackdown, and I never received any gold cards. So I had to use my like 5,000 pack points and get onto the Dialga and the Palkia from that. And I'll say this, right before I got the Dialga, the only reason I had the money to put toward, I wasn't going to put any more money towards Space Time Smackdown, but I was able to get the 2 immersive arts from Celestial Guardians, the Guzma and the Lily, as well as the 2 gold cards, which were, what were they? They were, Solgaleo and Lunala from Celestial Guardians. I was able to get both of the gold versions of that card before I was able to get any one of them on Space Time Smackdown. And on the first day, I got all 4 of those, and I was like, okay, that's kind of what I want to do, because I'm hoping that they put those 2-star cards in trades or something later on as time goes on. So I'm just trying to make sure I have all of the 3-star and all of the crowns before I move on to the next set. So I got that, and then I used the rest of the money that I had set aside for for Celestial Guardians into the Space Time Smackdown set, and was able to use enough pack points to get that Dialga. And I do not feel good about it. Now that I have it, I'm glad that it's over, but screw that set. And I'm much happier with my haul from the Celestial Guardian set. I'd be curious to see how you guys did. Are the pull rates different now? Because they have the shiny, they brought more shinies. There's so many like secret rare, like the shinies. There's like the 1-star shiny and the 2, is it star shiny, rainbow, whatever that icon is. I got one. I got like a Venusaur, I think, of the 2-star shiny or whatever, but I'm not sure how the pull rates are. Are they easier? They have to be, because Celestial Guardians was impossible for me to pull a gold, and then this I was able to pull both of them. I pulled them in, sometimes random variation happens, but it just seems like that's too big of a coincidence to be true. So I'd be curious to see how you guys pulled out. Anyway, got that taken care of. New information: Black Bolt and White Flare are going to be releasing in Japan on June 6th, and then we will have a special set. I'm not sure if we know the name of it yet. It should be announced here in the next week or two. It'll be released on July 18th. Here, it's going to feature all 156 of the Unova Pokemon. And the way to look at this is kind of like as the 151 set, but it also seems that every Pokemon is going to have an illustrated rare, or some special illustrated rare, illustration rare, and that's like really cool. Like they didn't do that in 151, and I think it's really cool that they're implementing that for this for this set. They're really doing it right. Everybody's like, oh, it's Unova remix confirmed, but no, it's not that. But I really am looking forward to the set. The cards that they've announced so far are like really cool looking. There's also a new rarity that they're doing. It's kind of a monochromatic. It has the designation BWR, like black, white, rare. They're doing as far as we know, the Zekrom, the Reshiram, and I think in Japan they're using it as a promo, but it's kind of like a matte, like a chromatic white and a chromatic black, and they're doing a chromatic red Victini as a promo in Japan. I don't know if that's going to come to our regular set or if that's going to be a promo in the US, but I'd be really curious to follow like how that works, like how many other cards they're going to have that are in that with that BWR designation. But I think it's cool. Like I can't remember the last time the physical trading card game had a like a new rarity, and how rare will those cards be? That'll be interesting as we are in the environment that we're in. What's that going to look like? In TCG Pocket, they restarted the ranked season, so we're in ranked season 2 now. Since I got that gold Solgaleo, like I've been using that Solgaleo EX deck. I'd be curious to see what you all are using to combat that. I think that's a pretty popular meta deck now. Using that with the Skarmory and Rare Candy. There were some really cool cards that they introduced into the latest set that I think has made the game more enjoyable to actually battle people. It was really monotonous there for a while, despite how many cards that they had. There were only, it seemed like everybody was playing Sprigatito or Giratina, and so it's nice to have something else to look forward to. And I was trying to get that Rayquaza, which I did. Make sure you do that this month. I think if you do 50 battles, then you get that secret Rayquaza EX card. And I battled through. I did all of the single mission battles. I went through all of those, and then getting the promo pack battles to get the other Rayquaza EX. Just in that, it got me to 47. I needed 3 more battles. So then I did 3 ranked battles, and then boom, we were at the 50. So got that taken care of. Make sure you work that out. Another thing, the last thing I wanted to talk about, and maybe I'll rant about this for a little bit, is just the difference. I've been hearing a lot, like on our channel and then elsewhere as well, from the physical card game, about the difference between what is a scalper, what is an investor, what is a collector. You hear those words like used a lot and almost interchangeably by some people. I don't know how, maybe it's newer people in the hobby, but let's just be clear. Like a scalper is somebody who's like ordering the product immediately, just pre-ordering something for as low prices they can get and immediately just ramping that price up as high as they can get to get it out there. And I am not a fan of those people. I would be curious to see, like, I really wish that some of the other influencers would really have a more, a louder voice in talking about the scalpers and how they're manipulating some of the numbers, because it's not just people now. At first it was like, oh, it's just a person selling a Pokemon Center ETB for $30. There's not that much harm that's coming out of it. But now you're starting to see Target is raising its base prices for the cards. You're seeing Walmart doing, I'm not sure if Walmart, I think it's still technically a third-party seller that they're going through. But I know that Target and maybe Amazon have just raised the prices of what they charge for Pokemon cards. And it seems like they're getting a pretty similar price from their distributor still. So unless there's been a change there where the distributors are charging them more, I think it's a blanket price hike, which is something that we should look out for. But you could probably consider that scalping. Investors are a little more for the long play. You can kind of look at them in the same boat as scalpers, but they're not going to leave the second the market drops. Like the investors at least have some investment into the card game, so they're going to get a bunch of ETBs or booster boxes, and then when they feel like the market's matured for those, they'll put those back into circulation. Not nearly as, to me, as toxic as some of the scalpers that we've seen, especially lately. Some of the just kind of drive-by scalpers that aren't really interested in the hobby, aren't really interested in Pokemon, but they just want to, like I said, I call them the like the crypto bros that have come into Pokemon, and the sooner that they leave, the better. But that's kind of the difference between the scalpers and the investors. Then you have the collectors, which I would probably include myself in, which would never an intention to sell those. I have once before sold my entire collection, and that was to buy a house. So I guess that would be investing, even though like it wasn't my intention until I actually sold it. I really enjoy just ordering the cards that I'm ordering, putting them in the sleeves, putting them in the binders, and then setting it up. And I'm really just trying to get the master set of everything. And the ultimate collection goal would be for the English set to have one of every card, like the master set of all of the sets. Of which right now we're caught up on the current gen. We have master sets for Gen 8, Gen 7, no, Gen 8, and then I need reverse hollows for Gen 7, Gen 6, but I have everything else. We're caught up on Gen 1, so we need 2 through 5, and that'll probably take a few years, I think, to get that, because some of those, once you get into like Sky Ridge and Expedition, some of those cards are pretty massive. I'm also trying to get all of the booster boxes, all of the booster bundles, even though they haven't been around that long, ETBs for as long as they've been. So that's just so y'all know. I don't think I ever just explicitly stated what the collection goal was, but that's the goal. And hopefully I don't have to sell. We're in a stable enough place where I don't have to just like, oh, we're starting a family, we need the house, we need to, fire sell everything and move across the country, which is what we did last time. So I'm curious, where do you fall in there? You a collector? Some people play competitively. Like I feel like they're better fans than we are as collectors. Like the people that actually go out there and go to the play Pokemon tournaments and go to the, it just always like is really intriguing to me how they'll, evolve and go to all of these tournaments. But I feel like that's getting pretty expensive too. Like I thought collecting was getting expensive as a hobby, but like just what it takes, the thresholds now to get into nationals or internationals. And I'm curious if it's anybody watching this is if you play the game. So do you play the game? Are you an investor? Are you a scalper? Are you a collector? Do you think that there's anything on here that I like maybe misinterpreted, or I'm not seeing the whole picture? I'm always open to correcting myself. And just a discussion that I kind of thought about last week and said, hey, I'm going to push this to the community and see, what y'all feel, how y'all feel about these different classifications, and if you are like, sound off for your team. But that's all I have for this week. I hope you all have a great day, have a great week, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.